Welcome everyone to this episode of Tech Falcon. And today's lecture we're going to be looking into JavaScript variable. And in JavaScript variable we're going to start with the var function. So we're starting with var. But before we do that, if you are following this tutorial from the beginning, in our previous class there was an example we used there, and I said we're going to make use of another example. So if you don't know what that example is, I will advise you go back to our previous JavaScript video so that you can get a better understanding of it. So now, the next example I want us to look into is this. Now we want to change a font color of an element in our page. And we don't want to use the hold method. We want to use a function method. We don't want to call it in as a function, so that we can run everything together at the same time instead of using calling our DOM twice in a single script. We just want to call it once and attach everything together. So let's run that now. Let's say we having a content here. We say we have hello world in here, hello world, and inside this hello world we having an ID. We give it an ID. I will call the ID demo. Give it an ID of demo. So now let's run our script here. And we're running our scripts. And first thing, we're going to call a function. Function, and we change the name. We call the name of the function. We say change style. Call it change style. And after that, when we change the style, the next thing I want us to do is we're going to call a var. Declare the elements will be equal to document dot get element by, we are getting it by ID, not by class name, by ID, and we're going to declare the ID name, and the ID name is demo. So then now we go on to perform the next thing. So we're going to call the element.style. The first thing we are doing, we are changing the color. And what color we use? We can use any color. Let's say we are using a blue. That's the first thing. And the next one, again, I want us to change the font size. So it's going to be element.style dot font size. And the font size we are using, because we are using the p tag, let's just use a 25 pixel. Okay, our pixel. Don't forget, make sure the content have to be in a quote. Make sure you quote it, whether it's a double quote or a single quote. So now let's link it to, let's give it a button that whenever the button is being clicked and our JavaScript should run. I say change. Let's just give this one change. And now we're giving this one an on-click function. On-click, and we're going to call the name of our function, which is change style. Yeah. So now let's go back to our page. Let's refresh our page. Let's load it again. So now let's click on this button and see. Now clicking on this button is working. Okay, so let's go back to our text editor and let's try the next thing in line. So the next thing in line is I want us to look into var. Among variables in JavaScript, var is one of them. Well, according to now, actually, var is like the hold method of using a variable. Okay, but despite that, var is still very, very important to learn and to understand. So understand it first. You can decide whether to use it or to use something else. So now, and var, I love using var maybe when I'm in a where I'm just running a very little project on my system. Okay, so that when any variable or any content I give to var is available globally in my page. So Let's say now I'm running this and I'm saying, let me give it a function. Yes, let me give it a function. I said a function, and the function should be count, and after the count, so then I will now declare the next thing I want to do. Count, so I will say var num1 var num1 is equal to 4, and var num2 is equal to 6, and then I will now say let total be equal to num1 plus num2. Let total be num1 plus num2. So the next thing I want us to do now is how to print this value out. So we say document dot get element by id. Well, our id is not declared yet, but we're going to do that later. Demo, let's say demo1, let's call it demo1 dot inner html equals to, don't forget, make sure you give it a quote. We said total number is plus total. This is where we are getting total plus total number plus. So now we have this set up now. So now let's connect it to our document. So in this document, we're going to have two things here. The first thing we want to have is we are expecting to have a p tag where we're going to call our id. So our id have to be present in our document. And what was the name of the id we used then? This is the id we used, so which is demo1. And now we have demo1. And after that, now we want to give it an onclick function. So we're going to use a button. We use a button, and inside the button, that's where we're going to give it an onclick function. Onclick function. Give it an onclick function. And what's the name of our function? Our function name is count. And after that, we give it a name, say count. So with this now, let's go to our browser and let's see what is going on there. So good. So this one is still working. So let's click on our account, and we're expecting the total number of 6 plus 4 to appear after we click on this count here. Oh good, the total number is 10. So we are having our result. So this is one of the way we can use var in our document with JavaScript. This is how you can use JavaScript var to make one or two things. And in the next videos or in the next tutorial, we're still going to have more and more example of how we can use var. So thank you guys, thank you everyone for your time. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe so that other people can benefit from this awesome and free tutorial. Thank you so much. See you in the next video.